Welcome. This is the 2018 BMX Hall of Fame reveal. We got some special guests with us today here at the USA BMX offices. Got a couple Hall of Famers. Actually, I guess three. But over here, Scott Clark, former NBA #1 pro, and Robinson rider, and
a few others.
Redline Factory rider.
Murray.
In the movie Rad. Murray.
Yeah.
So great to have Scott out. These are all the Arizona locals, you know. So
I moved from California to Arizona.
yeah. What do you do here in Arizona now, Scott?
I own a company that manufactures aquariums. It's called TrueView Aquariums, and literally my shop is one city block away from here. So I drive by here every day, and I've only been here twice before. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing out here, and it's a great place to live and retire. California's getting too expensive. Arizona's got great housing. You know, everything is the buildings are newer.
Don't tell them that. Don't tell them that. They'll all start moving here.
And, well, they have a quota. No more Californians can move here. But I got in before that was over.
You're blowing it for the California realtor here.
Yeah.
So a lot of other people know Eddie King, a Diamondback legend, factory torquer, amateur, and all-around good guy. Eddie also living here all time or
Full time.
Yeah, full time.
Yeah, I still go back and forth to run the business a little bit back in San Diego.
Yeah. Now you still have the realty.
Yeah, I still have the real estate office in San Diego and part ownership of a property management company in Glendora.
Yeah. Awesome. So it's great to have Hall of Famers like you guys are with us.
Thank
And then
you.
we also have Bill Curtin, BMX legend himself, founder of VintageBMX.com.
Yep.
Co-founder, right?
Founder of Vintage.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Co-founder of OldSchoolBMX.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to get kind of a cool group of guys to go through the what we have for the reveal. So let's first go to the intro slide for the next one. Introducing the 2018 BMX Hall of Fame class of 2018. Now, before we get into revealing all the inductees for this year's class, we also wanted to get into tell you a little bit about how to get into how the Hall of Fame works and the process of getting involved. So, how it all works, there's this three-step process. And first we start off with the nominations. And anybody can nominate anyone for the BMX Hall of Fame. You don't have to be a pro, you don't have to be, superstar or anything. Have your mom or dad, if they're big fans of yours, you can be nominated yourself or whatever. Nomination forms are accepted online between October to January, and all entrants are considered. Once we have all of those, once the nomination period has closed at the end of January, then we go to the Hall of Fame committees. So step number 2 is the selection committee review. And Eddie, you're part of one of the selection committees, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so each category, whether it's racer, or industry, woman, or freestyler, they all have their own 5 to 8 person committees. Each of those committees will look at that whole entire field, anywhere from 25 to 30
Yeah,
riders.
that's a good number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Each year, there's probably 25 to 40 probably nominated in that. And we got the committee, their job is to narrow that field down to the top 8 choices. This year we did the Great 8. And then the third and final portion of the process for the Hall of Fame, it goes to vote. So once we've narrowed it down to the field of 8 in those 6 categories, then it goes out to a field of about 450 voters. Those voters are made up of current Hall of Famers, which is probably about 120 now. Hall of Famers will vote on it. The BMX media, what's left of it, and all the bicycle industry, and a lot of the vintage BMX experts and historians for in the sport. To be qualified to vote, you have to know a lot of your BMX history. So the criteria to keep in mind for all nominees, what they what each of the committees looks for is, the riders who made a direct impact on the sport of BMX in some of the following ways. If they helped change the direction of the sport, they've left their mark in a positive manner on BMX. If they were an influential or recognized figure in the sport of BMX, they took the sport of BMX to the next level of achievement or competition. They earned achievements such as the national titles, world titles, or #1 championships. They've earned media attention or were very influential in brand advertising and endorsement of BMX products. And on a personal level, we also look for the individuals who have displayed attributes such as leadership, sportsmanship, character, and integrity. And finally, the qualifications for all nominees in the Freestyle, Pioneer, Woman, and Racer categories is they are required to be inactive from professional competition for at least 5 years or be over the age of 40. Nominees in the industry category may still be active in the BMX industry. So that hopefully
that sums it up.
Let's clarify the committee section to where I don't work in all of the 6 different committees. I only work to one specific committee that I have knowledge about, and that happens to be like the Pioneer Committee. There may be a group of guys specific to the Freestyle
I'm on the Freestyle committee.
that would do that.
Yep.
Because if you ask me about the Freestyle, I wouldn't know as much as you might would, or somebody else that's on that committee.
yeah.
And what we do on the committees is when the nominations come in, Shannon and Jennifer Gillette, who organize all of this for us, they bring in all those nominations and then they send them out to the various committees, and then we decide, looking at the nominations, and we take into factor the bios that are submitted. When someone submits a nomination, you really want to put everything you know about that potential Hall of Famer into that bio so that it's going to help us to make an educated decision as we filter down to get to the ballots. And then what we do is we vote, we actually rank them. I believe it's a 1 to 5 value is what we did, and then it's weighted, and then we send that back to Shannon and his team, and what they do is they take from the multiple people that are on each of the committees, they take that and they add up all of those scores, and the 8 highest were the ones, or it was the 6 highest, and then the 2 that finished first and second from the prior Hall of Fame election year get added to the ballot. And then once that's all done, then the ballot is sent out to all the Hall of Fame voters who vote for their first, second, and third choice. And then again, it goes through the same process of adding all of those up to determine who gets it.
Yep. All right. So, anybody want to find out some inductees?
Absolutely.
All right.
I can
I'm
see
nervous.
Scott.
We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, I gave Curtin a little hint and everything.
I know nothing.
We
I've
didn't-
seen
I
nothing.
didn't want to know who they were.
But yeah, we asked Eddie and Scott beforehand. You guys want to know? But they
Want to be
they want to be
surprised
surprised.
like all of you guys.
So they're going to be as shocked as
It's cool who made it.
or as happy and thrilled as everybody else. All right, so let's go to the class of 2018. The very first category. It's the original category. Very first category ever was the Pioneer category, and it was won by Dave Clinton back in 1985.
Yep.
So this is your list. This was your great 8 for the Pioneer category. We had Matt Harris, your buddy Eddie.
Raced him for a few years.
Yeah, Jason, and then Jason Jensen, Clarence Perry, Brian Ramasinski, Stanley Robinson, who's been coming out to the track. He's been seeing at the races lately. It's been
Yeah,
cool
and
to
he
see.
was, when I was coming up, he and I battled hard. We were equal,
Yeah.
and we were getting into it a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I have a lot of
bet.
respect for him. He's a really good rider.
No, I remember seeing you and Stanley dicing it, and Frank dicing it out.
Oh, yeah,
at many
NorCal.
UBR nationals.
Yeah.
And then the real old school legend, Jimmy Watson, Florida legend, right? Mark Wegner.
Yeah.
Georgia.
And-
Georgia.
And
South,
former
Southeast.
Robinson teammate of mine.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. And Bobby Woods,
Also
another.
teammate of mine.
Yeah, so
You've been on a lot of teams, haven't you?
No, they were all on my team.
Well, Well, Chuck Robinson knew how to pick the riders, didn't he?
He did. He had ability to see somebody that was coming up, and he would get them right when they're coming up. Same with Gary Ellis.
Yeah.
Gary, he's a young guy on our team, and we were trying to, work with him and mentor him when he was coming up, and then he just grew and took off, and he did way more than I ever did.
Yeah. Way more than most anybody. All right, so out of those 8, let's
The big reveal.
go to the drum roll. Your inductee is Clarence
wow.
Perry.
The earthquake.
The earthquake. Now, you used to race against Earthquake, both you guys?
Oh yeah,
I didn't.
you can't move him.
Yeah.
No, no. You
Well, I was
get
thinking
you
you
get him
probably
to
went to-
turn,
Wow.
and he's like pushing a wall. Yeah.
You probably went to Bercy with him. Did you race Bercy?
I
with, Clarence?
raced Bercy a couple times. I don't remember if he was there or not.
Yeah, I
'cause
think Clarence went the I don't know if it was first year.
I went to the first couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't remember if he was there then.
So yeah,
I
Earthquake,
remember you
man.
being there.
Yeah, I remember you being there.
King of the Northwest, legendary
Wow.
CW factory rider, top ranked AA pro from the 80s. And I think the neatest thing about Clarence is, he started racing in 77, actually in San Francisco before moving to Tacoma. But he raced a little bit in the 70s, raced all through the 80s, raced all through the 90s, and even into the 00s, So, Clarence, he was a cruiser ace, factory racing for the revived Factory Torquer, and then on for Factory Redline back in the 00s,
That's a lot of pedaling.
Took a lot of NAG #1 cruiser titles and ABA World Cup titles. I mean, Clarence was hard to beat.
Oh yeah, no, he was tough. If he got out of the gate good with you, you were gonna have a battle on your hand for sure.
Because you weren't getting thrown.
Nope.
You remember the first time, Eddie, you ever saw Clarence racing?
Maybe watched him race the cruiser class up in the Northwest and stuff like that.
Yeah. Cool. So congratulations.
Good job.
Earthquake, Clarence
Yeah.
Perry. All right, our next category. Introducing the racer category. What do you guys think of this Great 8? I mean, this is...
It's a good group.
That'd be a great main event.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, man. This is a
yeah.
stacked Grands main right here.
Yeah, this is the wave after us, and I know all of these names. So if I was already done racing BMX and I know who all these people are, they had to have been pretty good.
They had
Yeah.
an impact.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
You could
Yeah.
put the names on a dartboard and throw a dart, and you still would go. You would still be okay with whoever you landed on.
Yeah.
These guys.
Yeah, all more than deserving. So Thomas Allier from France, Ryan Foster, the Blue Falcon, guy that's just done everything in all aspects of all cycling disciplines. Matt Hayden, the Master, the Diesel. Dale Holmes from the UK, came here to America and has just been killing it ever since and still very active, being a team manager of DHR Racing. Danny Nelson, former #1 pro. Greg Romero, multi-time World Cup champion, I believe. Plenty of titles with Greg Romero. Also Robinson guy, since you're pointing
and-
out all the Robinson.
Yeah, he was on the team when I was on there. He wasn't. And he's also a trainer, I understand, and a pretty good one at that.
Yeah. Olympic trainer the very first year in 2008 China. Jamie Staff, also from the UK. It's kind of interesting. We have French rider and a couple UK guys, and then Stumpy, his first year. So that 5-year rule where you have to be retired for 5 years. Stumpy's the example of that, because he's deserved to get on there, but this was the first year that he was eligible to for the Hall of Fame after his retirement and after being the oldest rider to ever be a #1 pro, and then going on to be a school teacher. I think he's a math teacher at his own high school.
I believe so. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I was one of the youngest riders to be a pro.
Yeah.
I turned pro at 14.
All right. So drum roll. Inductee for racer is
All
the
right.
Blue Falcon.
Blue Falcon.
Brian Foster.
All right.
Nice.
How cool is that?
It's a tough bunch to get picked out of. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Brian is just, I mean, he still is shredding on his bike all the time. I remember seeing him, like I say, it was 97 at the NBL Grands on the last straight on practice on Thursday, and all the pros were working on that rhythm section that Neil Allen had built. And everybody was taking different lines through that section, and Brian was just going big on everything. And the fence was probably 25, 30 people deep along that straightaway watching practice, and was just blown away by his riding ability. And that's a great pick.
Yeah. He was a Golden Crank Award winner of Pro of the Year in 1995, a King of Dirt champion, X Games dirt jumping champion in 1998. You know, whether racing or dirt jumping, you know, X Games or, you know, he just killed it.
Yeah.
In Foster's career, he made 107 ABA Pro mains, 14 Pro wins. And it was always amazing because, you know, he's racing, you know, this little skinny white guy up against these big hulking bodybuilding pros, you know, at the time. And, you know,
Yeah.
he just did it with skill and style.
Absolutely.
And most likely desire.
Yeah.
He wanted it.
A couple signature frames, you know, from Schwinn and from Fit Bike Co., which he still rides for, so.
Well deserved.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Can't wait to hear that speech, huh? All right, our next category, the industry. Got this is another one that's just loaded. You know, can't go wrong with any of these riders, any of these industry icons. Kuwahara's Howie Cohen, DK's Charlie Danishek, the founder. Sandy Finkelman, you're familiar with him very much, right, Eddie?
Definitely.
The late, great Sandy Finkelman from Wheels and Things. Diamondback team manager for how long?
Ooh, probably for 6 years, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Pretty much changed the sport around in the 80s for the most part when he came out with, helped marketed some of the bikes that they made and stuff like that. I mean, he pretty much brought the wealth into the sport, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, he changed the sport a lot. He changed the dynamics of how a team should be structured. And he had that unlimited budget, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot like we were talking about, like with Chuck Robinson, how those guys just knew how to pick riders. You know, they knew how to spot that talent.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was just famous for being Sandy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And then we have JT Racing's John and Rita Gregory. Bob Morales, man of many talents, done a lot. JAG founder, Rennie Roker, also race promoter. And the mad scientist of BMX, Brian Skura.
Skura Speed Technologies, SST.
Yeah. A lot of cool products came out,
Oh,
out of the mind of Brian Skura. And then 09's Owen Shetman.
Nice.
So
nice,
a lot of awesome. It's a hard category. Another one hard one to vote for.
And he was from the Midwest, wasn't he?
Yeah. Owen.
Most of those other guys are West Coast guys. So
He was,
to be in there
Yeah.
with the industry and
Yep.
not be in the core of where it was happening,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Illinois
Yeah.
based.
pretty good to be nominated in that situation.
All right. So we
And
find out.
the winner is. Here we go.
Bob
Wow.
Morales.
Bob Morales.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Very
good. Wow.
So yeah, Bob, and there's a lot like what Brian Foster, you know, where he's just, you know, he could fit into all these different categories. You know, I mean, Bob was a racer. You know, he fits into the industry and he fits in with freestyle. You know, so he's a man of, you know, he kind of touched on all these aspects of the sport. And these days running ASV inventions, but you know, he's known for the founder of Dyno and probably most of all the AFA.
Yep.
You go way back. With,
I
Bob
was
and
actually,
AFA.
Bob was one of my sponsors back in the early days. I met Bob for the first time in '83 when he rode for Haro with Bob Haro. They came up to Boston and we hung out for the whole weekend, and a few months after that I rung him up and we talked, and he ended up sponsoring my team, and so we were all dyno equipped, and And then later, when he was doing the AFA, I started running AFA competitions in New England, and so Bob basically supported and helped me out getting all those going. So he was instrumental in the start of the freestyle sport and industry when it came to the competitions that were starting back in those days. It was a pretty cool scene.
Yeah, you kind of paved the way with the AFA, and the first King of the Skate Park series.
Yep.
We probably all been to King of the Skate Parks just
Oh, yeah.
spectating.
Yeah.
That was such a cool event to.
I've been there. Down in Southern California, they had a lot of those events that I went to when we weren't racing.
Yeah.
And he was into more distributing. He did designed the Auburn racing frame.
Two-piece Auburn frame.
That's right.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
That was a nice frame.
Yep.
Good looking frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was innovative. It was different
Yeah.
than what was out there. And
So
wow.
yeah, congratulations, Bob Morales.
Congratulations.
Good job, Bob.
Looking
Nice.
forward to seeing him inducted. All right, our next category, the women category. So on the women, we have a lot of pros from past and present. A lot of super fast amateurs in the girl classes on both sides of the United States, both the NBL and ABA. We've got a good, kind of a good half and half selection here. So we got a Gabby Behe, Melanie Klein, Kim Hayashi, Bonnie Hutland, the late great Kim Johnson, Debbie Calso, Jamie Lilly, and Tara Yanez.
It's a good group.
So being a San Diego guy, you're probably rooting for Jamie Lilly, aren't you, Eddie?
I'm not going to say.
Yeah, yeah.
East Coast, I'm looking either Gabby or Bonnie.
All right, drum roll, Gmo. And your inductee is Debbie Calso.
All right.
The very first ABA national number one girl.
Yeah.
1982.
Yep.
Wow.
Orig- originally from Michigan, and moved out here. Actually, her dad moved out here to work for ABA,
Oh.
and her brother Digger
There
Calso.
we Chandler
yeah.
locals
I remember
then.
Digger.
Yep.
So it just dawned on me. So with her and Clarence, this is kind of the CW. It
Yeah,
seems like every
yeah.
year.
CW party this year.
Yeah. Every year
Bring
you
out
kind
the
of
alumni.
maybe Roger
Some
will
lightning
show up.
bolt frames would be showing up.
I'm sure Tracer Finn's listening in, and you got to get Roger Worsham to come out, celebrate his.
Tracer's got influence. He can do
Yeah,
it.
I've got some questions to ask Roger.
We all do.
Where's he been? What have you been doing?
Yeah. So and the cool thing with Debbie is that she was one of the first female riders to really advocate and lobby for ABA to create a classification for the girls and for a title chase. To create. Say, hey, Richie Anderson's won these number one amateur titles. How about the girls? Give the girls a fair shake. So Debbie was instrumental in
And now there's a lot of girl classes.
yeah, and you look at where it's at
really
now
gone,
at the
yeah.
level of pro
Yeah.
pro
it's
women racing and
And going into mountain bikes, a lot of the pro women go into mountain bike racing.
yeah. So pretty awesome.
It's changed.
Congratulations to
Congratulations.
Debbie. All right, our next category, we got two left. Now, this is the first time where we've split the freestyle categories. We've always just had one unified freestyle category, but talked to a lot of the people out there, and we had a lot of requests to divide it up, kind of like we did with racers. We have the Pioneer and we have the Racer. So we have the Pioneer, we just call it the first generation of freestylers, which is kind of, or you can refer to it as the pioneers of freestyle. So in this class is another loaded grade 8. We got Todd Anderson, John Diz Hicks, Joe Johnson. Well, Curtin, you remember seeing Joe Johnson for the first time?
I remember driving out to this house in Massachusetts with one of my riders, Paul Delario. We heard about this kid with a half pipe in the backyard, and we go in his driveway and turn the corner, and he's got it's actually more of a quarter pipe built up against the back of the house with a runway going up into the woods, and he's a little skinny 14-year-old kid, and he's hitting this quarter pipe, half pipe, and he's going 9 to 12 feet over the deck, and we were just blown away. And probably a month later, Ron Wilkerson and Rich Segura came up for an AFA competition. We took him over to Joe's house. He saw Joe riding, and Joe was full factory Haro like the next day. And he invented the tail whip air, and then he, a year later, did the double tail whip, which a lot of riders nowadays don't realize that he was the first one to do that off the ground. And and then he later, after Haro, he went on a GT for a while before an injury and his riding career. So I'm rooting for Joe.
Yeah, definitely influential. You know, and same with Kevin Jones. You know, the king of flatland.
Yep.
You know,
the Enigma from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
There's flatland tricks today that all have their ancestry and stuff that Kevin did, and even to this day, the guy still shreds on flat.
Wow.
Rick Moliterno, Standard Bikes owner.
He was a Factory Haro alumni. Rick still to this day can ride like no tomorrow. Owns Standard Bikes. Just amazing guy, great guy, great guy.
Dave Norrie, another Haro guy.
Yeah, the Gumby. That's what he's famous for. And Dave is still out there shredding. He was out at. He's still doing shows all over the country, and he's doing things around at various clinics and such for freestyle in various parts of the country. I see him all. I follow him on social media, and
Yeah.
still quite active.
Yeah, it's always good. He comes to the Hall of Fame almost every year too.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's always good. Dave, the late great Dave Vanderspeck.
Vanderroll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, passed away a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's great to see him.
He was an innovator and
Yeah.
a wild one on a bike.
And Jeff Watson.
This is the first guy featured in BMX Action, half pipe action, and when we were getting that magazine every month, just blown away by this kid on a BMX bike, just skying out of these concrete bowls in SoCal.
Yeah, a true pioneer.
Oh,
Out of all
absolutely.
the pioneers in
Probably
this,
the
in this
first BMX coverage in the media of somebody riding a bike in a park, and then Tinker and Stu and those guys were jumping in, but Jeff Watson just went big, real
Yeah.
big.
All right, who's it going to be? First generation freestyle. Hit the drum roll.
Wow.
Rick
good.
Moliterno.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's going to be psyched.
That's going to make a lot of people happy because there's been so much banter on the social media about
Yeah.
Moliterno. When's he going to get in? You know, he should have been in.
Well,
So,
he's in now.
Yep.
that's the thing. You know, it doesn't always happen the first time out. You know, and
Yeah.
got to be on there sometimes. You know, it's pretty rare that the first timer guys will get in the Hall of Fame. You know, it takes a couple years.
Couple
I guess.
rounds.
I mean, it took John
Yeah.
Pine and Doug Davis a couple decades.
Yeah. Or Billy Griggs, yeah.
Or Billy Griggs,
Easily
yeah.
20 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, Moliterno, man, another guy just like Morales and just like Brian Foster, where they've touched on all disciplines, all aspects of BMX, you know.
And Rick was a racer, raced from amateur up into the pro class, freestyle. Then when the bikes were breaking, he decided that I'm going to make a better bike, and that's how Standard Bike started. And initially, Standard started out of Waterford Precision Cycleries. The old Schwinn Paramount house was building the original standards for him, and then eventually they took all the production in house, and now they just build some amazing bicycles, both stock Standard bikes and the custom stuff. Rick's a great guy and awesome person, and I think it's kudos to him. Good job.
Yeah.
Yep. Great.
And Scott, you probably know him from the movie Rad, right? Did you hang out with?
Yeah, we all hung out. Yeah.
Yeah, because Rick's the one who busted his ankle or something, and
Yeah,
so
they,
he got the-
they gave him a speaking part because he couldn't ride, so they gave him that speaking part. in there.
When you guys were by, he was sitting on the hood of the car, wasn't he, or something? And
Oh, I think
Yeah.
or he's sitting on a bike or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I forget
Yeah.
what it was. But yeah, but they actually gave him a line. You know, we were just riders, so they brought us in to ride, and but he got lucky and got that speaking part.
nice.
Well, not lucky. He had to break his ankle to do it, but, but he did get one. Congratulations.
Very good.
All right, our sixth and final category,
Next
Yeah.
gen freestyle.
modern day or next generation, modern day generation. I know we haven't decided the true title for this, but you know, it's the freestyle category, and we got some awesome,
Oh yeah.
I mean, legends here. You know, these are the who's who of the X Games generation. So Jamie Bestwick, Tim Fuzzy Hall, early pioneer in the dirt jumping field, Trevor Meyer, Taj Mihalik, Jay Miron, the Beast from the East,
Canadian
the
Beast.
Canadian Beast.
Canadian Beast, who now makes amazing custom wood furniture.
Oh, really? Is that what he's doing?
I saw that.
Yeah, like high line, beautiful, like museum quality wood furnishings.
And I was looking at his shop, because I have a shop, so
Yeah.
I was looking at his shop, see what equipment he has and all that. He's got some nice stuff.
Yeah, so if you guys get out on the internets there, look up what he's doing. Pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah. Is it what, Miron Furniture, or what's it?
I don't know what he's calling the company, but
Yeah.
I've seen like popping up like on Instagram, people posted pictures and stuff. But I mean, we're talking like $7,000 to $10,000 chairs, things like. I mean,
Dang.
museum quality, but just
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful stuff. He's really, really a talented person, both on the bike and now making furniture.
We gotta tell BA you guys need a new.
We need a new table. Jay's
Table
gonna
right
come in
here.
and do us up. Yep.
I can laser out the letters.
All right, moving on. We also have the nasty Corey Nastasio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently passed away. Kevin Robinson.
Okay, Rob.
Very, very sad
Yep.
to hear that, but great to see him in this list.
Kevin was an amazing guy out of the New England scene. Yeah. Yeah, we all miss him.
And Simon Chabron.
Yep. Wow. That's a good group. And the winner is Fuzzy.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Nice.
So I gotta tell
That
you,
guy got
when-
some air.
so yesterday, we do notify these guys beforehand and kind of tell them, it's like, hey, keep it under wraps, but we don't want them to really find out for the first time here, or hear about it on the internet. We like to speak to them first. So when I got to call Fuzzy yesterday, Shannon and I, classic Fuzzy, he's just like, oh my gosh, he's just like, Fuzzy's such a cool guy, man, and it's going to be really cool to see him make it in
Yeah.
there.
I remember seeing him back when I was still around. He was jumping, and
Yeah.
he amazed me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I remember. And the cool thing that he said, he's like, man, he goes, I feel like the first time when you called me and told me I got on the cover of BMX Action, he's like, I feel like a kid again. He's just so excited.
This is from Utah, right?
Yeah. First rider ever from Utah to make it into the BMX Hall of Fame.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good job.
Which we probably would have thought Mike Polson would be in there one day, but Fuzzy made it in before Polson.
So really, we only got like one Californian in there, and everybody says this is like the California Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah,
Pretty amazing,
that
huh?
is true.
It's
That
gonna
is
spread
Good
around a little bit this
observation,
year.
Eddie.
Maybe we ran out of Californians.
Maybe.
I mean, when you look at it, Clarence, yeah. Brian
Yeah.
Brian is, I believe, Foster's...
Ohio, I think.
Maryland.
Maryland?
Yeah, they were East Coast. And,
Yeah, so Bob Morales, only
Bob's Cali.
California, so-
yeah.
Yeah, so looking down, this is your class of 2018.
Wow. Nice.
Northwest, Clarence Perry.
It's going to cost the Hall of Fame a lot of money to get those people out here and house them and everything and entertain them for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good induction ceremony.
Yeah, it's almost like every year I just go, God, this is the best one yet.
Yeah.
Well, I just said, last 5 years, and once again, I think this could be the best one yet.
I'm going to tell you, Team Haro's going to be in the house that night with Moliterno. It's going to drag all the guys out of the woodwork.
That's good.
Wow.
It'll be a good one.
Being that the list has been extended from 5 to 8, I think it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference on there.
And I know from my committee, I mean the decisions and the people that came in on the nominations, it was tough. I mean, we've got some good people in here, and they all are deserving. So the ones that got in, kudos to you for sure, because it's a tough decision, definitely.
It's just like a main event. You got 8 on the gate, and only one's going to win.
Yep, and all of them deserve to be
And
in there.
everybody's just equally qualified.
Yep.
Exactly. Now, coming up, we got the Hall of Fame ceremony. It's going to be on Saturday, September 8th at Chula Vista BMX. We're holding it along with the Gold Cup Finals Championship Southwest. And
Which is also a Pro Series race.
yeah, it's Pro Series this year, which is going to be really cool.
That's Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, the pros will be going Friday and
Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday, and they're riding on the amateur track, which they're all
Right.
psyched about because they like riding that. You know, Tyler Brown is the track operator there, and all the guys that got a hell of a scene down there, and they're
Yeah,
all
they have
pretty
the-
pumped about
They have
going out for
the
it.
Tuesday night World Championships every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to have the Hall of Fame, you know, Pro Golf Open,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
prior
that's-
to that. Yep.
So Eddie, why don't you tell us a little bit about the golf tournament, Hall of Fame golf tournament?
Well, we used to do the golf tournament back in 2011, 12, and 13, and then I got hurt and everything, and nobody's kind of picked it back up. So we're going to bring it back in 2018. The golf, it's called the BMX Legends Golf Tournament, and it's open to anybody involved in any type of 20-inch bicycle, whether it be racing, freestyle, dirt, vert, anything. And it's open to friends of them also and stuff like that. It's a 4-man scramble. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday at Riverwalk Country Club or golf course in San Diego, and you can get tickets on Eventbrite online already. And now, since we know who the 6 people are going to be invited to the Hall of Fame, we can all start making plans to coming out to San Diego that weekend of September the 8th. And it's the golf tournament is usually a pretty good spectacle. It's I'm not going to
Now
drop
do you-
any names on who's coming, but
No,
it's
but
going to
it's
be
definitely
good.
a who's who.
do you have
Yes.
to be good at golf, or
Not
do you
necessarily,
get a-
no, because it's a 4-man scramble. You know, you probably need at least 2 good players on your team at least.
And one Happy Gilmore type.
Exactly, yeah. And it's really just
Nice.
good time to hang out with somebody you may not know and just, you know, chase the little white ball around for 4 hours and have a good time for photo ops and stuff like
Wow.
that. And of course, there's some guys that are just as competitive in BMX as they are in golf at it. So
Would that be like Patterson Brothers, or?
I think Brent teaches at high school up
Yeah.
in Northern
And
California.
he's a ringer.
Perry Kramer practices every Friday.
He's another ringer.
And Lee Medlin and his son are the defending champions from 2013. So there's plenty of guys. I know that Clint Miller's been playing with his son. There's quite a few.
Miranda plays?
Miranda plays all the time. Cash Matthews is a good golfer also. Sedano Porciancula from down in San Diego, he plays all the time. So it'll be fun. And I'm not going to like group a bunch of guys that are very good all together in one foursome. I'll kind of, you know, pat it around a little bit.
You have to run a moto pick on that.
Yeah,
Line 'em
cool.
up.
And also, hopefully, you know, we're going to have prizes over there for the longest drive, closest to the pin. And hopefully I'm going to try to get a nice full suspension e-bike for anybody that gets a hole-in-one
Ooh,
at
there you go. Time to brush up.
the event. So I'm still working on that. I'm pretty sure we'll have something done here in the next couple of weeks. So it should be fun.
Do you have one for furthest from the pin?
No,
I'll
we
play.
don't. We don't have that.
All right, so the tickets are on sale for both for the Hall of Fame and for the BMX
BMX.
Legends golf tournament. So go to eventbrite.com. There's a couple boxes there. Search for BMX Hall of Fame or for BMX Legends golf tournament in Chula Vista, California, and that should pop up and purchase your tickets. For the BMX Hall of Fame, it is a ticketed event, and tickets are $100 per seat. There's tables available if you want to buy 10 at a time.
A lot of the industry buy tables for their alumni, and you know, so it's really a cool event. And if you're just a BMX fan, it's definitely a who's who. I mean, you know, everybody under the sun is there, and it's a great night.
And the ticket includes when you buy the ticket, you get the table, and what else is involved?
Full
Full
meal.
meal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of entertaining speeches, and just
Quite a
you know,
few hours
it's like
of
the closest thing.
entertainment.
Yeah, when was the last time you've been to a Hall of Fame, Scott? It's been a while, man. I think.
I guess he's got to go now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so. I was inducted, and I didn't know there was a Hall of Fame. I got a call, and I thought someone was playing a joke on me, so that was the first time.
Yeah.
And the second time was it was when Danny Oakley, I believe, was inducted, so
Okay.
that was some time ago.
Yeah.
but I'm going to have to make it out there. I get a lot of old teammates and people asking me to go, and I had some back problems for a long time, and finally had my surgery, so I can get around better now. I couldn't make the Ernie Alexander deal because I couldn't travel, but I should be ready by this next Hall of Fame. Hopefully I'll make it out there.
Hope
It
you can
really
make
is
it.
a good
Hope
time.
everybody out there in Facebook land can hope to see you there in Chula Vista, September 8th.
Excellent.
It's going to be a good one. Yeah, if you've never been to a Hall of Fame, when you arrive, you get to go down the red carpet and take photos of everybody. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the closest thing to like a high school reunion of BMXers, right?
True.
With a mix of a Hollywood premiere thrown in.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets to mingle with the pros of the past and
Yeah.
talk to people that they might have watched racing, but they never
Yep.
got a chance to meet before. And I'm
Yeah.
sure, especially being our age, we're not competing anymore. We'd be happy to talk to anybody.
So anyways, hope everybody out there is thrilled as we are with this class of 2018. It's pretty awesome lineup there. Congratulations to all of them. And thank you to everybody for tuning in.